told by yesterday's video, which was 15975 right on board into Swindon. Now I've got myself a U19 or young person Swindon day rider on the Swindon Bus Company. So my first bus today was 516 on the 17. I got that from Pinehurst Avenue into Swindon. Then I did a 7 to Greenbridge, an 8 to Gorse, and then a 7 from there to Fenway, and now I'm on this, which is 15342 YP67 XBR, one of the Stagecoach West in Swindon depots. Scania N250 beauty 80 Avenue Enviro 400 MMCs. Now this one is a Stagecoach Gold one, and it is rebranded for 55. Of course, the route I'm currently on, if you didn't know, between Swindon Flanway and Chippenham Railway Station via Royal Wootton Bassett, Carn and Chippenham Bus Station. So this bus it's a YP67 plate, so there's a lot of problems with it. You can probably hear the loudness of the retarders, which I mentioned before. When I've done ride on boards on 15342, it's definitely one of the louder vehicles in terms of Scania N250. So yeah, this one is a YP67 plate, so it's from, I believe these were from late 2017 and not early 2018, but I'm happy to be corrected, of course. I know what the the number plate here is about 67. It's late 2017, early 2018. I'm not really sure. Anyway, YP67 XVR 15342. Now this bus is fairly quick. Scania N250s are quick. You can't slate on that. Now I don't really like the YP67s, but if there's something good about them that I've got to say, I would say they are quick. That is probably the best feature about these Scanias. They're nice and quick, and they don't really hang about. Sometimes they can be a little bit sluggish off the line if maybe they've been parked up for a while, or even if you've just got a driver that doesn't really put their foot down. But apart from that, every other time of the day, it is a pretty fast bus, so I can't slate it for that purposes. It is a fast bus. However, there are a lot of negatives for this bus in my opinion. And the first one I am going to say is, it is pretty loud. The retarders kick in almost instantly on this bus, which some people would say is maybe a positive feature, but in my opinion it's not. It does mean the brakes are working, which I can always agree with. The Scania brakes are always on top in terms of working. ADL brakes work as well, but they're not as sharp, not as good. Not sharp in a bad way, sharp in a good way. But all in all, very nice. Now at the moment we are pulled up at Great Western Outlet Village bus stop on Penzance Drive. I think we're 2 or 3 minutes early, because they do give you quite a while to get here from Flemingway. I think they give you 7 minutes. We've done it in 4. We'll be going a couple more stops to probably maybe Mannington roundabout, maybe the boundary. We'll just go to the boundary of my ticket. So yeah, overall, this is a very, very, very nice motor. And honestly, I've got not much to say about it. It's fairly quick. The only problem is retarders. Now, let's talk about the seating arrangements. Now, on the rear axle, it is these seats. So the lower seats like this. But throughout the rest of the bus, you've got the high back leather seats. Now, with these high back leather seats, it's the same style that the SM18 plated Enviro 400 MMCs have. The YT21 plated, it's the same. The only plate that doesn't is the SM66s. And it's got the black semicircle just below the headrest, which features your reading light, your USB, and stop bells on the upper deck. Now, on the lower deck, there are the handles, whereas on the upstairs, it's handles on the actual seat, which I find a little bit peculiar, but maybe it's a good style, I don't know. And a quick other feature of this bus, of course legally now, they have added the Hanover display screen for next stop announcements, as well as speakers throughout the bus. However, the only thing displayed at the moment is the time and date, and the only thing said on the NSA is when the bell is pressed, bus stop in, please remain seated until the vehicle comes to an entire halt, which you'll hear later on. Anyway, we've got a bit of dual carriageway action, hope you enjoy. I don't know if you would have heard that over the engine, but it did just do the announcement. Thanks very much. YP67 XBR 15342. So yeah, that must be some of the loudest retarder action screaming I have heard from a Scania N250 E400 MMC. Now, the YT21 plates are notorious for being quite loud as well. However, I don't think they're that loud in the same fashion as 15342. I used to depict it as the screaming Scania of Swindon, Triple S. I haven't called it that in a while, but maybe let's go back to calling it the screaming Scania of Swindon. Anyway, once I get over this busy road, we'll do my full-on review of the bus. But yeah. Okay, right, so I'm crossing the road now. I'm walking to the return bus stop here in Blagrove. So, effectively, I don't have any issues with it. It is quite a nice motor, actually. It's pretty smooth overall. I mean, yes, it's a YP67 plated, so you do have the problems, like, in terms of, yes, it's probably going to be rattly, it's probably going to have issues, but apart from that, there are people waiting there, so I hope I'm not going to miss my 55 back to Swindon, because you can't use this on the 99, or maybe you can, I don't know. Anyways, so yeah, my point is, it's a nice motor for non-enthusiasts. It's smooth, it's quick, it's reliable, it's fast, I've already said that. But do you see what I mean? Like, from an enthusiast point of view, it's got its problem, it's got its loud retarder, and it's got issues in that regard. But if you overlook that, and look at some of the other features of it, you would actually see that it isn't that bad of a motor. The only issue is it's got a loud retarder screen. It's a little bit harsh on the brakes because obviously the retarder's kicking in almost instantly. But apart from that, it is pretty nice. It's not the best YP67 I've been on. It's not the worst YP67 I've been on. So I'm going to give it a solid. Now, this is my baseline normally, a 6 out of 10. But I'm not going to give it a 6 out of 10. I'm going to give it a 6.5 out of 10 today. And I am going to give you a bit of rhyme and reason to that. It's fucking hell, a 55 pulling in now. Ah, fuck's sake. I'm going to give you a bit of rhyme and reason to it. It's a good motor. And it's not, it's the middle of the batch in my opinion. But yeah, nothing against it, nothing for it really. If anything, for me, it's an on-the-fence motor. Anyway, thank you very much for watching this video. I might actually have a chance to get this. Thank you very much for watching this video. Make sure to leave a like, comment and subscribe for videos every single day.